Monday night, start of a new week. Gary, Margaret, good to see you guys. Guys, Bill, good to see you. I'm gonna just go into the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm running a little bit late. I got stuck doing something at the last moment, and things happen. But I think I got some good news tonight. I think we'll have a good show. People show up, we'll have great. If they don't, well, that's their loss. So let's do the pledge and the song, and then we'll get into the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. When all the guy wants to do is pick up life from other people. And I'm proud to be an American. At least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this.
You can't jump under my legs like that, baby. What? I can't hear you. Oh, no. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. I am. And you know, before I go into the kids, I want to talk a little bit about a man that we all love, the man that we believe is the guy that's going to lead us to where we want to go. And I watched him speak today, and I'm going to get into more of that later. But boy, one of the things he said that really touched me, and it wasn't just what he said, it was the fact of what everything kind of consisted of. And what everything kind of consisted of was pretty simple, guys. It's something that happened 3 years ago today, and we're gonna talk about that. But I do want to talk to the kids, and normally I'd start off with Jimmy, but today I'm gonna start off with the little monkey, Patriot little monkey, my granddaughter. I haven't had a chance to talk to her. I don't know how things went, but she started preschool today. I asked her yesterday. I went over and spent some time with her. And I asked her, "Are you gonna have fun?" And she said, "Yeah." And, you know, when everybody starts school now, all the kids, they got this little black like thing that first day of school, da 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 da. And she had it, and the pictures. I will share the pictures later when I get them downloaded into my system. Um, Maybe I can do it now. I don't know. Um, but anyway, it was her first day of school, and yeah, it kind of made her her papa very sad, her grandpa very sad, because see, as close as I am, I wasn't no part of it, and I thought I should have been the one who was picking her up on her first day, but it wasn't to be. So here's picture number one. Naturally, I have no idea. My phone is all screwed up, guys. That's picture number one, and this is number two. And you know what? It doesn't matter that it bothered me a little bit that I wasn't part of the day. What mattered to me is the happiness, the utter joy that little girl has on her face, and that. So I will probably call her as soon as we finish the show, and then we'll chat a little bit. I'll see how her day was. Now I get to pick her up Wednesday and Friday from school. She has Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she's already told me we got to go out to eat. You know, that's what I did with her brother Liam. Never got the chance to do it with Liam Patriot7. Never got the chance to do it with Ella Patriot Super Gymnast because I was working at the time. I would babysit her when she was little, but when she started preschool, I couldn't do anything to help. I think I took her to school one day. I was over there early enough to take her to school, but there's where we are there with them. And then Patriot Small Hank is with his mom at having pizza tonight along with Patriot Little Kira. A cousin of my daughter-in-law's in town and up from Kentucky or Tennessee, one of those hillbilly states, and they're spending some time together. So I haven't got to see Kira all day, but then we have Super Jimmy. Man, I tell you, I get more and more excited every day, buddy, about the thoughts of these beds. And I'm going to tell you a story about these beds now, Jimmy, because see, it's not who and what and where, but I used to be a paper boy. My first job was a paper boy when I was 6 or 7 years old. My last job when I was 62 years old, I was a paper boy. They called me a journal distributor, but I wasn't. I was a glorified paper boy. But in this one town, I would make sure I got up and took the papers out and into the people's, put them in their doors or handed them to them if they was outside, because so many people, when they were delivering before me, they just throw them in the yard, and these poor people had such a long walk. Well, the other day I seen one of these little ladies that I used to deliver to, and I drove in the lane. She was at the house of another friend that I used to deliver to, and the other lady I called Ma Kittle, you know, like Ma and Pa Kittle. And that being said, she had her door open. I said, "You having troubles?" And she goes, "Oh yes, my key is stuck in the ignition and I can't get it out." I said, "You want me to take a look at it?" And I don't know anything about stuff, but she said yes, and she got out and I got in, and it was a real struggle getting in because she's so short that, I mean, I hardly had any room to get in, but I made it. I didn't want to move her seat because I didn't want to have to adjust it. I got in and I looked, and car's in drive. Well, no, the key ain't going to come out with a car in drive. But I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I pushed the brake in, kind of did like this to the steering wheel. But as I'm doing it, I put the car up in drive, shut the key off, boom, key come right out. I mean, you would have thought I just give the lady $1 million. She was so thankful. But now I got to go in the house and talk to the other lady. So I sit in there for about 15, 20 minutes talking to these two ladies. But one of the last years that me and Ron passed the papers, we give all of our older customers an Easter basket with a little Easter bunny in it, a hard-boiled egg with their name on it, and some candy. And the lady that I helped with the car, she looked at me and she says, when she realized who I was, she says, I was just thinking about you the other day. She said, I asked God, where is he at now? And now I know. And she says, I came across my Easter basket with my stuffed animal in there. So when we go in the house and the other lady's in there, the other lady goes and gets her basket and her husband's basket with their stuffed animals. But I'm sitting at the table, and they're both 88 years old, and I told them about the medical beds, the magical beds. And I even brought stuff up and I read it to them. And they go, we can actually go back like 40 years and be in our 40s. And I said, yeah. And you know, I'm telling this story, guys, to you kids and everybody, because it's so funny, the ending. The ending was they both looked at each other and says, wow, we was pretty hot at 48. I think we can get ourselves a man again. Because both of their husbands have passed away. But the excitement to learn that the arthritis that they have, that the soreness and everything that they have bothering them, all the medicines they're on, they're not going to be on them. And maybe they can live another 50 to 75, 100 years. And it was just amazing that when you share things, and I as I'm driving out of there and leaving, and I'm going into the store, I started having my talk with God, and I says, please God, get them here soon so these two beautiful ladies can get on there. And then joking with him, I said, who knows, if they're hot enough, maybe I'll date them. But you gotta have fun, Jimmy, so keep the faith. It's gonna work. It's gonna work, buddy. It's gonna be here soon. Patriot 11, I hope you're having a good time. I haven't heard from you. Don't know much more to say. Drove by on the same day. I drove in on a different road going into town, and I drove by this one ranch I got my eye on. So still got the hopes for that. Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and strong. Long live your name, and long live your glory, and long live your story be told. You kids, I just adore your mom. She's just such an amazing woman. I don't get much of a chance to talk to her because she's such an amazing woman. She's constantly working and helping your dad and taking care of you boys because she loves you with all her heart. Patriot, Little Princess, our queen, and Patriot Wyatt. When I think of grandparents, and then being a grandparent, what it means to me. But I seen some pictures of both of you the other day, and I really can't wait to have a chance to get to meet both of you and spend a little time and have some fun. Princess, I can't wait to play catch with you because see, I'll be on that machine and I'll have my arm back, and I used to be pretty good at playing catch. And who knows, maybe I can give you some pointers before next season on catching. Right now getting up and down is a little bit of a difficulty for me, but it's amazing because everything else right now is coming so easy. What is Golden Arrow 23? What thumbs up? What is that? I missed something. So, Patriot Little Leona and Little Ilana, I've seen pictures of you recently, and slow down, you're growing too fast. That song, slow down, you move too fast. We got to make this moment last. Slow down, you're growing too fast. We need to make this moment last. And the Boogs, Boogie, Boogaloo, Boogs, Boogaroo and Boogaloo, I can't wait for these beds to come in, like for Jimmy, because I know every time it seems like I'm thinking about the beds, or I'm thinking about you kids. I see Grandpa John post, we gotta have the beds. I mean, he's rooting for them, but there's just so much out there, guys, And you know, I love each and every one of your kids, and I hope you love my stories because I love telling them and that. So you know, we're going to move off the children now, and we're going to move into a different area. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up the Gematria I got here tonight. I may do a little more later if I decide to do some live, but I got two things. I got two people. But as I'm talking about the Gematria, I've been talking to Linda and Xavier, and probably starting tonight through however it longs to take me to get done, which won't be real long. But I want to do a video on TikTok because TikTok is the easiest place for me to do it. I can do up to a 10-minute video, but it downloads it and uploads it quickly, so I can get it. I can take it when I do the video on TikTok. I can take it and it goes into my save videos and save pictures. So all I got to do then is take it to Rumble and put it there. And then you guys, if you want, can put it on your site for your followers on this channel here. I can't because, you know, I don't sugarcoat it on there. I actually use the names in that, but if it's not on my site, and then I don't see where they would close you guys down because all you're doing is sharing someone else's video, just putting a link up there of somebody else's video. It can go on your Facebook page. It can go on X. It can go. And the reason I'm doing this is because I got thinking we can open people's eyes, and subjects I want to discuss and kind of explain is, number one, the Gematria. Well, I'm not saying this is the number one I'm going to do, but the Gematria, the revaluation, the Goldback Standard, the quantum financial system, a little bit about BRICS maybe. I know there's a couple of other ones. I'm going to take my time. And if you guys want to help me, send me to Messenger or send me to my email subjects that you think would be good to talk about. Because, see, we need to get this out here in, okay, Mike Davis, Ralph, here in Indiana. We had Amber's Alert 6 times. Wow. Well, you know, I heard that they're testing them. We haven't had any here, but speaking about the Amber Alert, I believe it's going to come really soon. But see, here's the thing about the Amber Alert. From what I'm hearing, it's not going to happen until we get that message from our loving president saying the storm is upon us. Okay, so there's what we have there. Boy, it was hot here today too, Jeffrey. But tomorrow it's supposed to be 95 degrees here. Now, I was talking to Linda the other day, guys, and I don't know what got into me. But last Wednesday, I took the little monkey. I took her on her grandpa little monkey day out. She wanted to go to Candy and Cake just because her big sister got to go there, just because of the name of it, and we had a blast. The little girl that waited on us as I was going to pay, she said, "I love your hat, sir." And I said, "Okay, do you want one?" And she goes, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Yeah, I want one just like yours." And I said, "Oh, because I have them in white, or I can get them in white, and I can get them in blue instead of the red." That. She says, "No, I want red." But as I'm walking out, she says, my best friend would want blue." So I'm going to order some hats, and I'm going to order probably here as soon as I get paid next month. I'm going to order probably about 10 of each. And if any of my kids want a hat, and Jimmy, I've been wanting to get you one, and and Savior, and not Savior. Yeah, Savior. Do you want to have no? But Jimmy and most of the kids, because with the Boogs, I know the baby's too young, but the little girl, the oldest little girl, would be great in one. And the trouble is, I can't get kid size, so. But I'm gonna do something for our kids. So I'm gonna go into the Gematria, and the first Gematria I'm gonna do. So there's two people that sent me their names. It's Myrna Head, but first I did her. Myrna Hoffling. Drill Baby is 140, so everything I'm gonna read now is 140. Drill Baby Drill. Trump won. Interesting. Revelations. Queen of England. This is the end. The base code of life. Tina Turner. Christmas Day. There is no code. Tom Numbers. Jesus Saves. Magic Noel. Commander-in-Chief. Hidden Knowledge. The Holy Grail. Once in a Lifetime. Move Forward. Shelves are bare. New Year's Day. Then I did Myrna Hoffling Head, 158. Sacred Geometry, Flip the Switch. Release the Kraken. Remember, Remember. Oprah Winfrey. Entertain. God is Human. XRP Bull Run. Helter Skelter. Forrest Gump. I didn't like to do that one, but I did. Secret Window. Sidney Crosby. Perfect Storm. Wills on Walls. Serpent's Tail. Be Strong. Christmas Tree. Audrey Hepburn. Know Thyself. Beginning of the End. No Ammunition. Dissolve COVID. Now, there was some in there that I'm not going to go into full disclosure of it. But I mentioned a man's name that used to be our president. And since I just mentioned that, I'm not talking about him. It just, okay. He spoke today. And oh my goodness, I got to go back and watch and stop and get all the comms. Because, see, where me and Ron watched it, they was putting all the comms up. And I should have had my tablet. And I should have wrote it down, because some of them I was doing. And it's amazing, because one of the things that Hat was talking about today was how they give away the ammunition. We was strong. We had more ammunition. We didn't know what to do with the ammunition, and now we don't have any again. How do you send your troops into battle? How do you send them into battle and we have no ammunition? Now, because we've given it to the UK and, other countries. Because, see, there's this deal that this dopey guy does, or sleepy guy does, that when he sends stuff like that, he gets nice checks coming back in return, see? So, and I should have waited on that. But he was talking about ammunition. He also talked about the man who played Forrest Gump. And that's the only reason I put that up there. The other one I did, guys, I want you to listen for a minute, because the next person I'm going to read, she's still with us. She doesn't come on and talk because she doesn't want to get involved right now, because she's bringing her life back together, and me and her, as a matter of fact, I got to write her today. But me and her, we get along pretty well. But she's Tricia Patterson. Now, she sent me her middle name and maiden name, but somehow I've misplaced it. So all I have for the Gematria on her tonight is Tricia Patterson. And I hope you guys remember Tricia. Tricia was a beautiful young lady who she lost everybody. Her mom, her sister, her nieces and nephews, all in one day in a car accident. and she's bounced back. She's eagerly awaiting the bed. She's eagerly awaiting the revaluation. But to show you everything this lady has been through, everything that she has had to endure, and you know, when I think of her, I think naturally of Myrna for everything Myrna has went through, and a lot of us, but it seems like just certain ones have went through so much more. And I know that my mom and dad used to teach me a phrase, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. But why do you have to be strong? Like, get strong. Get strong living through something like that. So I keep in good touch with her. She did get our Telegram. She's joined it. And I'm going to try to get her on our Messenger. But here's Tricia Patterson. 203, artificial intelligence, Gematria calculator, heart attacks can be deadly, decode, she is the Messiah, I love you so much, unlimited knowledge, total lunar eclipse, loving my religion, what is God telling me, a beautiful goddess, the Lord might be human, God hates sexual sin, very, very soon, nuclear explosion, truckers, October surprise, God's best friends, a prison break, Messiah. Now, I really wish I could have got the rest of her information. I really wish I could have got everything done, but you know, I got that, and that's our Gematria for tonight. The show's moving on. It's 27 minutes. As I told you, ever since I quit my big day with my granddaughter, and I told you guys all about it on Friday's show and that, but I got such a oomph of energy, and I've mentioned to everybody in the past that I walk every day. I walk to keep myself healthy. I walk to stay strong, stay in shape. But I do all this, and as I said, I walk 10,000 steps every day. I haven't missed one day since I was released from the hospital last year, the second time. I came home and I started right off the bat the first time, but then a month later I had to go back in for that surgery where they went up through my groin and make sure everything was clean and that. So I was in a hospital all day. I couldn't get the 10,000 steps in. Now, 10,000 steps at approximately 1.5 to 2 feet a step is 15,000 to 20,000 steps, which is anywhere somewhere between 3 miles and 4 miles a day, which at 70-year-old man, I felt that was pretty good. But I never walked just at 10,000. You can ask Linda. I usually walk 12, 14, 15, sometimes more. With that being said, I made a challenge to myself on that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 days. I was going to walk at least 30,000 steps a day. And I did it. And today, the 5th day, I did it. And tomorrow, I'm hoping to do it if I can get out early, because I will not be able to walk outside. Now, I couldn't walk in my house and get a lot. But boy, it's so much easier to walk outside where you got all the nature's beauty and things like that. It's just something that you just can't put a thing on. So, I got something today, and I shared it. It's come from a friend of mine on Bookface, Al Crawford, and he posted something, and he said, if you need a reason to unfriend me, go ahead, but I'm going to remind you of remind you all every single day until November 5. Got a picture of the buffoon, or whatever you want to call her. Sleepy and her, when they took, their magical dream trip to that place in California that they used to use as a White House, when they decided to start living there. They have a picture of her. Gasoline, 46.6% up. Fuel oil, 59.1% up. Natural gas, 28.1% up. Used autos, 26.4% up. Beef, 20.1% up. Pork, 14.1% up. Bacon, 15.4% up. Chicken, 8.8% up. Eggs, 11.6% up. Milk, 4.3% up. Apples, 6.7% up. Coffee, 4.7% up. Baby food, 7.9% up. Electricity, 6.5% up. That's what they did in their less than 4 years. And now, right there under her picture, there is big in all bold capital letters, her being proud, smiling. I did that. If you've been online today at all, or if you just remember, today is a kind of a day of sadness. I gotta get out of here. It's kind of a day of sadness in the fact that I thought I had sent something over to read, but it's kind of a day of sadness because 3 years ago today, we lost soldiers in Afghanistan. It was the most ludicrous thing, really. And the whole thing of it is today, our loving president was at the cemetery to pay his respect. Even though he had a busy day, he was still there paying his respect. There wasn't the lady running, there wasn't the man that she sits under now there to pay respect. 3 years ago, our leaders botched Afghanistan. Servicemen lost their lives. Today, marking the 3-year anniversary, the hat was at Arlington National Cemetery, but there was no sight of Sleepy and Dopey. What does that tell you about respect? Now, in my opinion, I'm sure that if someone would have told them that there was free donuts, I'm sure that if someone told them, someone would have told him or her that if they show up, other countries will give them money just for honoring our dead soldiers on something that they was totally responsible for. I'm sure if they knew that there was way to put cash in their bank account, they would have showed up. So what I'm going to say is, if we had 3.5, almost 4 years of total crap with Sleepy and Dopey, it's just going to be 4 more years with Dopey. Make sure that her and her hyena laugh do not run this country. Not only was the hat there with everyone to speak to and ask questions to, he also had to board a plane very quickly to get to his next engagement. The man loves our country. Since he's been with our country and leading our country, we've never had a war. We've never lost a soldier to dying. But all they want to do is spit on him, mock him, and say because he has funny hair and he does things a little bit different that they won't vote for him. In closing, I'm going to add one last thing, folks. Anybody who votes for that lady, and this is not a political video, but anybody who votes for her must really 100% hate children and the well-being of children. Our man, the Hat, took on a project with Junior and others that was probably 10 times, maybe 100 times, maybe 1,000 times bigger than we ever expected, that he ever expected. That's why we're at where we're at. That's why we have not got the 800 numbers. That's why we are not doing exactly, but we're close. So the next time anybody wants to get mad at him, just close your eyes and say to God, thank you. Thank you for giving him to us. Is he perfect? No. Do I yell at him? Yes. But you know, it is what it is. I know a guy that doesn't like him just because he mocked cerebral palsy. Yeah. Because he was trying to raise funds for people to donate for cerebral palsy. And then not only did he mock them, then he turns around and he donates the amount that they took in on that weekend drive, and he matched it dollar for dollar. As a president of the United States of America, he never took one penny. But yet the people who's replaced him, their bank accounts since they've been in office as president and vice president has grown by the millions. And that's just their bank accounts. That has nothing to do with offshore accounts. How? How did they do that? I don't know. I'm going to read this. I get some things out of it. I don't understand some things, but I thought I'd read it and let you guys see what you thought. Good morning, TNT. It's Monday, August the 26th, 1:14 p.m. Good morning. Good morning. Believe it or not, it's a good morning, 1:15 p.m. It's a good morning because Iran says they are going to respond appropriately, 1:16 p.m. The bomb yesterday in Lebanon are done. That's what they said. I think everything is coming to a conclusion, 1:16. They are there working on a ceasefire, 1:16. Everything is looking very positive. It's a good thing, hoping things are coming to a conclusion, 1:17. I sent out a tweet because I got a call from Iraq saying they were unlocking the ATMS 118. The information I get coming from high levels, it's just hard to see 118. What has happened over the year, others say it's not happening. Then 2 days later, they say the same thing. Yes, it is happening, 119. We have always been ahead of the information, especially throughout the years with the Kardashians, 119. This is why we built the world's largest industry in the Kardashian instead of Baghdad, 120. They know what is going to happen. August 26th. That's why we are so involved in what we are going in the region, 121. My guys in the Kurdistan saying the lower denoms were being released this weekend, 1:21 p.m. I did talk to one of our members who got a call from military friends over there. They told him the lower denoms had been released over there, 122. Kurdistan has always been ahead of Baghdad. Today is no different, 122. We are talking, I knew it was going to happen soon. Okay. Got to see where I was at. I lost my place. You know, okay, no, they are excited, 123. You know what's next. We have bank people who were in meetings this weekend. They called them in yesterday to sign NDAs, which they hadn't had to do before 124. They're not supposed to say nothing. It will be an exciting week. We are all hoping so. 124. ALAQ is in DC today. Supposedly Sudana will be SUDHANI will be too. They are discussing the banking system in Iraq, all the smuggling and thefts, as well as forgery. 1:25 p.m. They brought in 2 new companies to do audits of transactions, hoping to show that this is enough, and they are ready to go. 126. It's a good day. No negative stuff at all. We are just waiting. We are just waiting for the door to open to cross over. I really like that reading. I'm sorry I got a little bit stalemate, but you know, as I'm trying to scroll and read, it got a little bit difficult because, you know, I got to keep moving up and these little emojis pop up and I got to get rid of them. And so what I'm going to try, like, I want to touch back on the things I told you I might be thinking about doing. And them things are, you know, doing these short videos. And it's not because I don't believe it's happening. I believe it could happen before this show ends. I mean, I listened to Wolvie, and he is expecting his NDA today or tomorrow. Very positive. I listened to others. Mark has even got some positivity. I listened to the Restored Republic, which I'm about to read here in a few minutes, and it's very positive. Now, I have to address something that I don't know if you guys saw it. But there's a guy that does shows. I've cared for him. I followed him for a long, long time. But the one thing, I don't care whose shows my people are watching. When other people start to bring them down, I got to try to bring you back up. Okay? And as I told you, right now, I'm full of energy. But this gentleman, I won't mention his name, but his first name is Mike, and that's as far as I'll go. Now, if you want to do some research on him, his last name might have something to deal with a coin. But I did not see this, just a few highlights. And it was reported to me that he totally lost it last night, saying that there wasn't going to be any, all the stuff that we've been talking about for how many years now, guys, And now he's reporting it's not real. I have no idea why. I don't know. I know everybody gets to certain points where we're just not going to take it. So I hope Mike comes on and talks to his people. I follow him on Facebook. I'm sure that call is on his page, and I want to go look at it because I'm not going to judge him because I've only seen just a couple bits and pieces. But I had many people today come to me and say, what happened to him last night? I don't know. But before we judge him, let's remember one thing. And I see Cindy and Jeffrey and Ann and Margaret and Janet. And Janet, you weren't the first one on tonight. What happened, sweetie?
Waiting for you.
There's Russ and Ron says, Ron's got the answer. He says she was waiting for me. Yeah, I was a little bit late. So, as I said, I'm not going to keep you guys since we was late coming on. You know, I'm trying to keep these things down a little bit. But as I said, these ideas that I got about making these short videos, please send me messages either on Messenger or send me messages in email and tell me some subjects that maybe we could work to, you know, you could get to be. Here we go. Janet says, we don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well. That came from Ronald Reagan. Yeah, I liked him. I don't know 100% sure. I'm hoping he was good. But you know, I don't watch nowhere near as much TV as I used to. But there used to be a show on. It was called The 70s Show. You guys remember it? Raise your hand if you remember The 70s Show. It was a bunch of teenage kids, you know, and they had the lover boy, and they had the couple that was destined, and they had, you know, the nerd and Fez, and, you know, they had all this and that, you know, and they always was down in the basement of Eric, kid that played Eric, basement. And, you know, they smoked their pot, and they drank their beer, and they partied, and it was a good show. I really liked it. But there was one guy in it I really liked. He went on to another show later when Charlie Sheen decided to call it quits or go to a one-way trip. You know, you be the judge. But see, I'm not 100% sure on that now, because see, I heard Charlie Sheen is supporting the hat. I don't know if you guys seen it. Margaret and people who go to TikTok, there was a little video on the other day. Actors and actresses supporting the hat. And he was one of them. But still the fact, what he supposedly did, and he, from what I understand, he did not do it to the extent when he found out about it. He left, he come back, and he started a campaign to raise money to get them out of there. But he didn't tell the people. But still the fact, if he'd have told, maybe we could have shut it down a long time ago. And then they made a show years later, and it's running now. It's called The 90s Show. And my son turned it on today, and I was down preparing for this show tonight. And my son's watching it. My son just loves it. And I can't talk to my son about, and when he came on, because I loved his character. But he's coming on now as a dad on The 90s Show. But his son is exactly the same type of character that he was. But when he came on, I got a sick feeling in my stomach. I guess mostly because I really liked that show. I really liked the characters. And when you think that somebody you really, even though they're younger, you looked up to them. It was a show that I used to look forward to watching with my kids. And then on reruns, I could look forward to maybe watching them with my grandkids, because it was a funny show. And it would have been a way that also I could have explained things, and my daughter and my son-in-law, and my daughter-in-law could explain to my grandkids what they're doing in the basement when there's all that smoke in there and they're getting goofy. But when he come on, my stomach, I don't know if it's because I just can't stand him anymore, because I don't think it's that, or I just feel so sad that he got mixed up in what he got mixed up in. So here's Judy Bidington, August 26, 2024. The storm isn't just coming, it's here. The stage is set for the hat's return. Backed by ironclad military legal framework. Welcome to the re-implementation of constitutional law. On Sunday, 25 August 2024 at 6 p.m., the quantum financial system was connected. To the wealth of the stock market, global financial crash expected to begin on Monday, 26 August. Over 900 bankers have been sent to GITMO. All banks have been taken over by the QFS. The revolution has begun. Mass arrest in progress. It's only wise to have at least a month's supply of food, water, cash, medicine, and other essential items on hand for yourself, your family, to share with others in case of emergency. Judy note, eyewitnesses have testified before 6 judges of the International Common Law Court, Justice of Brussels, against well-known global leaders. Oh, I wanted to mention something too. A Democratic leader, a woman today, declared her support to the hat. I meant to write it down, but I didn't. Although the prominent global elites, including the man who used to live in that prestigious house of the Catholics and royalty, were found guilty of international court crimes against humanity and still escape justice, while innocent people fighting for our liberties have been incarcerated, such as January 6 rioters sit in prison caught in the Crazy Nancy / CIA plot to blame the hat on the insurrection that didn't happen. Pavel Durov sits in prison for refusing to censor content on Telegram and share users' private information. Ken Cromer sits in jail, having been found guilty of living in his own fully owned home after proving in a federal tax court that he had owed no money to the IRS. I followed that whole case. I watched everything that they put out on that. And if I do this, I am not doing it in that satanic manner. I'm sorry, my daughter was trying to call me, and I watched every bit of that. He had them speechless. He had them speechless. And when he proved he didn't know anything, and they still put him in jail. Tom Fairbanks sits in jail for having. I'm not going to read that one. Pretty much the rest of Judy is stuff I've already read. The storm is not coming, it's here. We're waiting for the hat's return. No Big N and Big G money until the storm cleanup of our earth under 1776 U.S. military law translations. And then she talks about Judy. Before I close and call it a night, guys, I wanna tell you, if you're not listening to the Restored Republic, if you're not getting it from Messenger or someone sending it to you, or just go into Rumble and call up Restored Republican, whatever the date is, Restored Republic, whatever the date is. If you're not, you need to start doing it. They've been long. They've been 40, 45, 50 minutes here lately. Patriot Diane and gives me it every day, and Ron gives me the talking version of it every day. But there's a lot more in the when they talk. But the last 2 days, and I'm going to go back and check, because we all know we have a quantum financial account. We all know we have millions of dollars sitting in that account. But here's the deal. In that account that we have, he says, if you don't believe me, you can go. And he says something, but I have not been able, I've been walking both days he said it. I want to find out where we can go and actually put our information in and check and see how much we got in there. Imagine how that would turn heads if we could go to people who don't believe, sit down at their kitchen table or their dining room table and pull up that and pull up their information and show them that they have this amount in their account. Do you think they'd start believing? Do you think they'd start following? Do you think they'd start wanting something to happen? I do. Dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, we want to ask for prayers for everyone here, everyone who needs prayers, everyone who, all the children, 100% of the children, Lord. As I've told you in many, many talks with you, I will not rest until they tell me that all, 100% of all children are taken care of. Have family, friends, and loved ones taking care of them. If they can't find their regular families, we'll find families for them. Lord, look after all the people here. We have a lot of people in our group. A lot of people in our group that need your help. And we just come to you through this unbelievable times. The feelings we have running through our body, Lord, we can't even begin to explain to you how we feel. The happiness, the joy of knowing we're on the verge of going to our heaven on earth. No more debt, no more sorrow. Just nothing but happiness and joy. And we'll work as a group, as a family, as loved ones to make that happen for you, because that's what you always want. We talk to you and pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. Love yous. Keep that information coming in. Tell me stuff you'd like me to do. And let's just keep moving forward and keep your vibrations up. If someone does something to get you down, send me a little message. I'll try to get back with you and pick you up.